Hi everyone, my name is Winona and I am currently a registered behavior technician studying at Lehigh University, pursuing my Master's of Education to become a board certified behavior analyst, and today I'm going to be talking about the token economy. So what is a token economy? It is used by practitioners everywhere, all the time, every day, but what is it? As defined by Cooper's third edition, a token economy consists of 1, a list of target behaviors, 2, tokens, points, or marks participants earn for emitting the target behaviors, and 3, a menu of backup reinforcers, preferred items, activities, or privileges that participants obtain by exchanging earned tokens. The goal of the token economy is to increase or decrease the targeted behavior. So as a practitioner, I use the token economy every day with my client. In my example, the client picks what they want to work for and earns the tokens, and they can later be exchanged for that picked reinforcer. This is a very standard example of a token board, very cute. You see the tokens that have been added in the little Velcro for where you can add them. It states what the client is working for, and it also states the targeted goal here at the bottom. So very clear, very simple. I really like this one. But you can also make them a little more creative. If say your client likes pizza, here are all the things they're working for, and you can add the little pizza slices. And there are so many ways to be creative with this. It can be really, really fun. So yeah, anyone getting involved in making token boards, I would encourage you to think outside the box. It's really, really fun. So some terms that we need to be able to understand the token economy is, first, a backup reinforcer. What is a backup reinforcer? It is a highly preferred item or activity that is earned by accumulating the secondary reinforcer. And the secondary reinforcer is a conditioned reinforcer that gains its potency by being paired with the backup reinforcer. So they go hand in hand. So for example, a backup reinforcer being toy animals. This client really, really likes toy animals and wants to work for those. And the secondary reinforcer, being the tokens, gains potency by being associated with those toy animals. Now, a high potency reinforcer is very important when talking about the token economy. It is a reinforcer that increases the likelihood of a desired behavior happening again, and it's presented after the behavior. So, if we're talking about these toy animals, those are presented after the client has finished their work, and then the client is more likely to be excited to work again because they know they get access to their favorite toy animals. So where is it used? According to Arrington's paper on the token economy, much of the research that has been focused on in the token economy can be divided into investigations of single subjects, classrooms, and health settings. So this means that the token economy hasn't been used in a ton of settings, but it has been used in a variety of settings productively. And as humans, it's important to understand that we use a form of token economy every day. With what? Money. It is, we all do it, we all spend money, I spend too much money, and yeah, I am very aware of my relationship with the token economy. Let's just say that. So where did it begin? Another study done by Hackenberg talks about just how long we've been using the token economy for as humans. The token economy has been a concept for a very, very long time. It began during the transition from nomadic hunter-gatherer societies to agricultural societies. And it came from a simple barter economy and has turned into more complex economies, multiple economies. This provides a basic framework for all the monetary transactions. Any economic system of exchange involves some kind of token reinforcement. So we see this once again all the time with money. And yeah. So to identify these reinforcers, you have to do something called preference assessments. And there are multiple kinds, but we're going to talk about the 3 main ones today. So an indirect preference assessment is done by interviewing people closest to the client to understand their preferences. These can be very, very useful, but also it is more proficient to get information directly from the client. There are multiple ways to execute a direct preference assessment, which is exactly what it sounds like. The assessment is done with the client themselves, and they are picking and choosing what they want to play with, and that is a very good indicator of what they like. And a free operant assessment is the assessment done in a room of various objects and activities, and the client just picks what they want to engage with. Free operant assessments I use every day in my practice, and it is very effective. It is a very effective way to figure out what these clients enjoy and what reinforces them. So the implementation. Fernandez explains that there is no gold standard, so it would not be surprising to find a wide variation in the ways that token economies are implemented. The first step is to always establish what the client is working for. A predetermined, consistent reinforcement schedule is very important in the beginning and throughout this whole process. But at the beginning, reinforcement every time the desired behavior is exhibited is so very important. And this is touched on by Lou. So what is the overall goal of a token economy? The goal is to fade out the need for tokens, and hopefully the client will work for other reinforcers, such as verbal praise, social reinforcement, or intrinsic rewards. Lou touched on this in her blog post that I really, really liked. I would recommend reading it if you're more interested on the token economy. And what are the pros and cons of a token economy? The pros of a token economy are that they provide immediate reinforcement and are catered towards the specific client. This method also develops patience, as the client has to wait for the desired item instead of immediately getting access to it. One of the cons of a token economy are response maintenance or sustaining changes brought about through the intervention after a token economy is being ended, as said by Arrington. Token economies can lose effectiveness if misused. The ability to generalize skills across context can also be a possible roadblock. So what does this mean? The whole point of a token economy is that these skills that are being learned are translated to different settings. That's the whole point of most of the things that we as practitioners do, is we want it to be able to translate to different settings. So we want it to be generalizable. And that's just a really, really important part of the token economy. And lastly, we're going to talk about fading. Fading is a procedure in which a stimulus is gradually removed as a method of transferring stimulus control. This can be achieved by manipulating the intensity, shape, or form of a stimulus, or the temporal relation between the onset of a prompt and a stimulus. Fading can be used to bring the response under new forms of stimulus control and or change the response topography to accommodate gradual changes in the stimulus. So this fading procedure is going to be done in a way that, once again, hopefully, going back to our slide talking about the goal, we are trying to fade out so these other reinforcers like verbal praise, social reinforcement, and intrinsic reward are equally as rewarding as those tokens or those backup reinforcers. Now we're going to watch a video that gives a great example of how to implement the token economy.
How you can use a token board with your child.
All right, George, what do you want to work for today? We have Lego, coloring, and train set. Pick one.
The Lego.
Okay, let's work for your Lego. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, high tap. Good job. Touch your nose. That's your nose. Great. Touching your nose. What letter?
T.
Very good. That's letter T. Okay, how about you show me where is letter E?
E.
E. Amazing. You get 1 star. Okay, and what fruit is this?
Banana.
It's a banana. And what color?
Yellow.
It's color yellow. Very good. You get another star. Super job. Where's your head? That's your head. Where's your nose? Nose. And can you do this? Nice copy. You get another star. Okay, let's count for your stars.
1, 2, 3.
3 stars, and we get
So I just thought that video was a great example of the token economy. Very simple, very straight to the point, but it really just shows you how it is implemented in everyday practice. And that is going to be all for me today. I am very thankful that I got to talk to you guys about this, and I hope that it has been helpful, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. Bye.